Hello there my old friends, thanks a million for clicking on my video. Hope you're all keeping well. Stay safe this long weekend, this bank holiday weekend. Drink and gamble responsibly. Never do the two together. Never gamble when you're drinking. Good tip. I probably went a bit over the top last night, picking 3 meetings in my video. I'll stick to 2 meetings from now on. I had 3 winners today and 6 seconds and a couple of non-runners. So I didn't do too good. Well, I did, but not my tips. I'll tell you now in a minute. The first race at Carlisle, I gave you a 28 to 1 shot. And he finished second. Star Harbour. Right? Now that's a 7 to 1 winner. Think about it. These big winners are going to come in. Stick with me. But I went along in that first race and I had a sneaky little bet. I'm a bold boy. My bad. I had a sneaky little bet in the same race, the only horse I backed today. The only horse I backed since Bow Echo, which was 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think. I said I'd have a nice little punt. Now, we're not a big gambler. I said I'd have a nice little punt, an opportunity. Now, I mentioned all their horses last night in my video, the Wattenham Racing. James Doyle for Willie Haggis. He won doing handstands. That was the only bet I had today. I put a ton on him. So I won 120 quid. Right, so I'm happy enough with that. But the tips I gave out last night, I'm sorry, I only had 3 winners like I said. The 28 to 1 second in the first race at Carlisle, in the 4:55 at Carlisle, number 2, won at 7 to 2. And then I had a 9 to 1 winner, 9 to 2 winner at Chester, number 3. And a blast of seconds then. Sure, look, that's the way racing goes. You can't. I'm not a professional tipster. You don't have to pay me like a lot of people do for tips that don't win. I just like making these videos. And always remember, gamble responsibly, okay? Only bet what you can afford. And never chase your bets. Right, I picked out 2 meetings for tomorrow. And I have 2 naps. And a lovely big each way nap as well. At a different meeting. Right, I won't keep you too long. We'll start off at Kilbeggan. Sorry now, 1 second. The first race at Kilbeggan . Where the feck you gone? Where you gone to France? I was never in France. First race at Kilbeggan is the 2:26. And I picked out number 2. Captain Hanley. Adam O'Sullivan for O'Connell. 5 to 2. Think of that now. Number 2, first race in Kilbeggan. We'll move on quickly to the second race in Kilbeggan, which is the 2:56. and I went for the second favourite. Now Gordon Elliott have 2 horses in this race, a 5-horse race, and Jay Ryan have 2 horses. But anyway, I went for Master Haku, number 2, in the second race in Kilbeggan. Master Haku, Haku, 6-4, joint favourite, banker. Third race at Kilbeggan tomorrow, Sunday, the 31st of May, is the 326. And I've gone for number 4. And Nod and a Wink. Right, Kieran Murphy. It's not good race neither. Next weekend will be the main weekend, but anyway, and there's some good racing Monday, Bank Holiday Monday, coming up. So a Nod and a Wink, number 4, in the third race is 8-1. Back him each way. The fourth race at Kilbeggan tomorrow is at 4 o'clock. And I've gone for number 13, unlucky number 13. He's 7-2 favourite. Now this is one race I've done a lot of studying in for some reason, because it's a fucking desperate race. Gavin Brother, I never even heard of the trainer, which I should be ashamed because I'm Irish. But anyway, number 13 in the 4 o'clock is 4-1 favourite. Chester Bay Lad. That's the 4 o'clock tomorrow. Chester Bay Lad. The fifth race is the 4:30. And I've gone for number 8. Now these are all kind of handy prices now in this first meeting. Number 8, Sam Ewing for Noel Mead. Our trainers after hitting a bit of form. Billy Franchetti. He's 4-1 second favourites. That's number 8 in the 4:30 at Kilbeggan. Right, the 6th race at Kilbeggan is the 5 o'clock. And I've gone for number 5. Two-mile 4 handicap chase, 12 runners. I've gone for number 5, Warriors Wood, for Brian Hayes. Now I want to give a big shout out to Brian Hayes. Right. He rode a winner in the first race today at Listowel. Then, where's he gone? I'm just trying to think of him. Tremor. He drove over 300 miles. No, sorry, not 300 miles. He drove 3.5 hours. Sorry for the delay there. He's the first winner in this stole today. He drove 3.5 hours to Tramore, which I can't remember how many miles it is. and you had two more winners. Now that's what you call a jockey. He normally rides for Willie Mullins, but that's what you call a jockey. Driving 3.5 hours for 3 winners across the cards. Very good going. Right, we go back to the 5 o'clock at KILBEGGAN. No, the 5:30. Am I after covering? No, the 5 o'clock at KILBEGGAN, sorry, number 5 is Brian Hayes for Andrew McNamara. Warriors Wood. I'm getting a bit lost now, sorry. Warriors Wood is 4-1 joint favours, with a McManus horse. No flies on him. There's definitely no flies on McManus. But anyway, I'm going for Warriors Wood. Number 5, 4-1. Last race at KILBEGGAN tomorrow is the 5:30. Race number 7. And I just had to go for the favourite here. Number 3. Patrick Mullins riding for Cooper. There's nothing else in the race that can beat this horse. I'm not going to give him as my nap at even money. But that's number 3, Packball, in the last race at KILBEGGAN tomorrow. Right. We'll move on to LISTOWEL. Sorry now, bear with me for a sec. LISTOWEL tomorrow, Sunday, the 31st. I said I'd stick to the 2 Irish meetings tomorrow, but my naps are coming up at Thirsk. Excuse me now. Bank holiday weekend, sitting in the house on my own as usual. I don't go out, I don't socialise. So you have to wet the old whistle. First race at LISTOWEL. It's a 2:14. Now I've gone for 2 in this. 16 runner maiden. These first 2 races at LISTOWEL are very hard. The 2 are maidens. But I gone for the favours. Glenade, number 4. 15-8 favours. Billy Lee. Now Billy might win the first 2 races. I don't know. But I've gone for Billy Lee for Paddy Toomey. That's Glenade, number 4, in the 2:14 at LISTOWEL. And I've also gone for number 8, which could turn him over. Dominic O'Brien. His horses are after hitting savage form. Donica and the brother Joseph could be a lethal combination tomorrow at LISTOWEL. But anyway, Hip Hop Chrissy, number 8. Hip Hop Chrissy, 7-1. Good each way bet against the favours. Second race at LISTOWEL is a 2:44. And I've gone for number 3, Citrus Springs. Billy Lee is favours, 2-1. Citrus Springs is trained by Joseph O'Brien. First time out. Cost 300 grand. That's a 2-year-old. These lads pay serious money. And Joseph was very good at getting them ready on their first run. So I went for number 3 in the 2:44 at LISTOWEL, and he's 7-2. Right, we'll move on to the third race, the 3:15. And I've wrote down 2 horses in this. So it's a big 16 runner handicap, 6 furlongs. The first horse I wrote down is number 11. Another horse I nearly put as my nap, but I'm not going to. Mintman, number 11, Mintman. P. Murphy, ridden by Luke McAteer. And number 11, sorry, is 7-1. And then I went for number 9 in the same race. I like to have 2 each way bets in a big handicap race. I went for number 9, Shamie Heffron, for J. Nallen. Number 9, Mercurical. Now number 9, Mercurical, is 12-1. Right, that's the 350 in the Kilbeggan. We'll move on to the 4th race of Kilbeggan, which is the 350. The 350, I've gone for the second favourite here. Number 3, Joseph O'Brien again. Oh, Joseph. He've 2 horses in the race. His father, Aidan O'Brien, has a horse in the race. The one I'm afraid of is number 2, Andrew Slattery, my favourite trainer. Henry de Bromhead, Willie Mullins. This is a tough race, but I've gone for number 3, Satamaya. Satoyama. Anyway, look, you know what it is, number 3. And Joseph's horse is 11-4. Moving on now quickly. The 420 is the 5th race at Listowel. And I have 2 horses in this. I've number 2, Zabriskie Point, for Aidan McGuinness. Trainers in top form. Adam Caffrey. That's number 2 in the 420 at Listowel. He's 5-1 joint favourites. Win. Then I went for number 4 in the same race. The Blue Panther. Nicola Burns, riding for the father. Nicola, you owe me a few winners, baby. I backs all your horses. So number 4 is 10-1. That's a good each way bet in the 420 tomorrow at Listowel. The Blue Panther. Right, the 6th race is the 450. Just an each way bet in this. Number 10, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this. Tassarolo. For Declan Hogan. Ridden by young Sheridan. Great jockey, great trainer. That's number 10 in the 450 at Listowel. Tassarolo. And he is 9-1. Good each way bet, lads. 2-1 favourite. In the race, Ballyadam. I'm sure he ran at Cheltenham. Ballyadam. For Henry de Bromhead. Is he Henry? Yeah, he is Henry de Bromhead. He's 2-1 favourite. But I fancy number 10. Anyway, almost there. The last race at Listowel is the 520. And I've gone for number 5. There's 11 to 10 favours and 11 to 8 favours. Sky Captain is favourite for Paddy Toomey. I think number 5 will beat him. Why did they name horses like that? Ndaawe. How in the name of feck can you pronounce that? Ndawi. Probably is. Anyway, that's number 5 in the 520, the last race at Listowel. He's just about second favourite, 11 to 8. It's only a 7-runner race. 1 mile 5. He'll probably go favourite, I don't know. Right, that's the 2 meetings out of the way. Excuse me. Now we go back to the 350 at Listowel, which is my first nap. I have 2 naps tomorrow and a massive each way nap. I have 2 each way naps in the same race, the big race at Thursk. But Listowel, the 350, my nap is, not to mention the horse already, Joseph O'Brien. Satoyama, number 3. That's my first nap for tomorrow. Number 3 in the 350, 11 to 4. Right, move on to Thursk. Now, where would you get 3 naps in the one day? Think about it. $4.15, where you gone? $4.15. $4.15 at Thursk. Is my second nap. Number 6. Noble View. Richard Hannon again. I picked a couple of his horses yesterday. He had one good winner. Miss Fitfree Hay is the owner. I just like the colours because they're absolutely flying. They're banging in the winners. That's number 6 at Thursk in the 4.15. Noble View is 9 to 2. And I'm telling you what to do, because I think he'll win. That didn't rhyme. So that's my second nap. We'll move on to the big race at Thursk tomorrow. The big race at Thursk is the 5:45. Right, and I have 2 picked out in this. 24 minutes in. We're just there now, folks. Thanks if you watched this far. The 5:45 at Thursk. My first horse. Actually 6 to 1 favours. 6 furlong handicap, class 2. 30 grand. My first horse is number 4. And these are my 2 each way naps for tomorrow. Fandom. Richard Hannon again. I didn't know I was after picking out 2. So that's number 4 in the 5:45 at Thursk. He's 7 to 1. Winner each way. And the second horse in the same race is number 14. Manila Scouts. Now Tim Easterby is without a shadow of a doubt due a couple of winners. Duran Fenton, I'm riding him. So my second each way nap in the 5:45 is number 14, and he's 14-1. That's Manila Scouts. I think that wraps it up for tomorrow, folks. I'm going to stick to the 2 meetings from now on, because there's too much studying. Right, you know the score. Gamble responsibly. Never chase your bets, and only bet what you can afford. I hope you all have a good weekend, and stay safe, and don't drink too much. Like I'm only having a few at home here tonight. It's just 11 o'clock. But take care, God bless, and thanks for all the subs and the views. I don't charge for my bets, my tips. I just like I said, I make these videos for you people. Now I had a sneaky little bet today, like I said, in the first race. 100 quid at 11-10. I mightn't back a horse for another week, another 2 weeks. I just like making the videos. Right, hopefully you're all get... I'd like to actually mention the lady that commented today on my video, last night's video. What was her name? Sorry lady if you're watching. It was the same name as the horse. It starts with an E, what is it? Anyway, the horse finished third at 18-1. So I hope you had a good few bob. Tidden Ethel, what's her name? I can't think of her name. Sorry if you're watching. But anyway, look, I'll leave it there. 27-minute video. Just stay safe for the weekend and gamble responsibly and don't drink too much. Okay, look after yourselves. You're all looking beautiful as ever. Thanks a million for watching. Kenny from Tipperary. Over and out.